Welcome to the Shirts and Skins podcast. We are your hosts, Tori, Devin, and Josh. And gentlemen, free agency is in full swing. It's been going for about 24 hours or now. So let's get into it. What's your thoughts so far before we go through all 30 teams? What we're going to do is, does what they've done so far, free agency, not necessarily draft, but free agency, does it move the needle for the team or no? So real quick, Josh, what are your thoughts on this type of free agency so far? Because this is the NBA and it never stops.
There has been some very interesting contracts so far. I think
like how do these teams have money type of deal?
Like overpaying for some players. Obviously a lot of veteran players signing to certain team.
Get some deals.
You know, I mean, like I'll take a little lecture to come over here and chase this ring with this guy kind of situation. How did that work out so well with whenever you had, like, I think it was Karl Malone and
Gary
Payton.
Yeah.
You know.
Rich get richer.
Let's try that again.
Doesn't always manifest, though. If
So
the
some very interesting
2004
moves so
finals
far.
or anything to
Out
prove.
with the new, in with the old.
In with the old, out with the new.
Yeah.
No, what I think we're really seeing here is a lot of these younger players eating up. So what we got to remember is that the salary cap actually didn't jump very much this year, given the last 2 years.
Right.
Lower fans, if not no fans. Bubble versus semi-bubble. The salary cap has not jumped very much. And so what we're seeing is teams with salary spending a lot of it on youth. And now you just got to fill these gaps with some of these other veteran guys who are, hey, if I could make $8 million going to, say, Charlotte, why not take 5-9 and join Brooklyn? Why not take, the 5-6 and join LA? Why not do that? So they're taking a little bit of a hit because there's not as much money to go around. You might as well go to a contender is the type of situation that I'm seeing.
See, what I seen was, let's get 3 point guards and a shooting guard. How'd that work out? You know what I mean?
Hey,
Chicago Bulls. Like, what?
Hey, but I mean, that's a team that it's kind of interesting now.
Yeah.
It's kind of fun. It's kind of sexy. Josh, any other thoughts before we go through all 30 of these teams rapid fire?
No, I mean, as we hit these teams, I have things to comment, especially
We all do.
the teams we've already just talked about. I definitely have some thoughts, we'll say. So
Yeah.
let's just get to it.
Yeah, my key thought, though, I just want to say, and we will bring it up again, Melo to the Lakers. I like it. I think it's great. I hope.
Oh, we're saving that.
Now,
We're saving that.
Yeah, for a person who didn't want to see the Lakers
Overrated.
see LeBron get a ring
Is
with
it
the
a
Lakers
super team or
again.
is it a bunch of overrated bums?
I don't know.
Stat patterns,
I want to see Melo
Washed
get
fragile guys. I don't
want
know.
to see Melo get it. So we'll go through the teams, and
He was on your Portland Trailblazers you've been a fan of since 2021.
you know what I mean.
I
So
heard.
at the end of the day, let's go Lakers. You know what I mean. But I think the Nets got richer too, and the Nets are
Hell, they
gonna be-
did.
Yeah, pretty tough too. So
All right, so this is draft excluded. Now, again, what I'm a big fan of, though, before we get into this, Cade Cunningham, the number 1 pick, saying he wants to go to Detroit. This is before he got picked. He wanted to go to Detroit to build a culture. He wanted to help build a team around him.
What else is he supposed to say?
There's a lot of guys that tank
he
these
knows-
interviews.
He knows
to
he's
not
about
go.
to be the number 1 pick. So what choice does he have but to say, hey, I'm excited to go over here?
You know what he could do? Tank the first 6 interviews and go to Golden State.
They were going to take him no matter what because he's the best talent. He was the best guy on the board.
you know what he did? He got more guaranteed money by saying that.
No, he definitely did do that. But again, what I also like, so again, what he's really doing is you're taking a perennial loser, which is a hard nose. I mean, come on, you're a Pittsburgh type of guy for the Steelers, man. You Steel City,
I'm trying to
grind
see-
it out.
Yeah, I'm trying to see where you're
You
going.
got to respect what he's got going on in Detroit there. Motor City.
doing nothing or just straight.
Oh, we're about to
losers that
find
haven't
out.
Been nothing
Hey,
since 2007.
If you want to go to a team that has a losing culture that's all about grind and hustle, I respect it.
you know what I respect is that he was already at practice at the facility like the very next day.
Thank you.
I respect that. I respect his game because he
Double
was a
downing.
baller.
Double downing that he actually does want to be there.
Listen, the better pick that they did was getting Luka Garza.
You think so? Yeah.
No, that's going to be the turnaround right there.
Pretty good pick also. Pretty good pick. The other one, Suggs. Suggs could have gotten upset about not being drafted in the top 4 or not being drafted fourth. He was minus 400 to go in the top 4.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he was-
Toronto.
Toronto. They skipped him. He goes to Orlando. Let's remember Orlando for a minute here. And again, he doubles down. He says he wants to go to Orlando. He's excited. He wants to build a winning culture around that team. I dig it. I am here for it. We don't hear that enough from today's top 5 picks.
Since Eli came out and talked about he's not going to San Diego,
Thank you.
when have we ever heard of a player saying, man, I didn't want to get drafted by that team. This sucks. All of them say, I'm excited. I can't wait to go to this team and do great for them.
The Eli's don't. The Elways don't.
It's draft speak. This is what they all say. I hope he's excited. I just don't know if he really is. I think it's just him saying, I'm excited, guys. Woo! He's excited that he's about to get paid millions of dollars to play basketball.
I think he's really upset that he didn't go in the top 4, especially to Toronto, which is a fringe
that chip on the
contending
shoulder.
team.
Maybe that'll help him out to be even more of a powerhouse player for them to really you know what? Let's show Toronto what you missed out on.
I think so. Devin, any last thoughts before we go through these teams?
No, man. Let's get in these teams and let's see what you got going on, and we'll take our little takes on each individual team.
First team, Atlanta Hawks. Obviously, they give Trae Young the max. All right, they get Trae Young the max. They bring in Gorgie Dang. And they re-sign Solomon Hill. Does that move the needle? Now, again, these guys were in the Eastern Conference Finals. Does it bring them to another win in the Eastern Conference Finals? Does it bring them to the finals? Do they stay where they at, or do they fall?
No, they fall.
Devin, pretty firm on that. They fall.
Yeah, they fall. I mean, you're gonna have the Nets there. You're gonna have the Bucks there. I don't want to get into the other Eastern teams until we get there, but other Eastern teams made way better moves. They actually built themselves to be better. Your Heat, Celtics are going to be better. You got injuries coming back. The Hawks will not. They might be in the playoffs, but
they'll be in the playoffs simply because there's 10 teams.
Right, but I don't. They're not going to be in.
They made the right move in signing Trae Young. I mean,
they're going to build around him. They're going to build around him.
You have to sign Trae Young to that deal.
But
they had a lot of cap space going into this offseason, though, and then
but they also have.
It doesn't seem that they spent it on.
Yeah, they didn't even see they made the right. They didn't make the right move
so far.
Trae Young, you can't knock him, but what is he, like the 10th best point guard in the game right now? You know what I mean? Like, where's he at? Yeah, where's he at in point guards right now in the game? Maybe not even top 10. So he's still young. You got to build a team around him, and I don't think they built a team around him. So we'll see where he's at.
Give it time. I think it's too early to say. This year, obviously, I mean, you have to do that. That's the right move. Let's see where it goes from here. But as far as them going up, no. They're not going to make the Eastern Conference Finals again. I really don't think that. But they'll be playoff contention.
I agree with you. For the 2022 season, the Hawks will not make the Eastern Conference Finals. I think these moves set them... I think they're exactly where... Well, actually, I was way off of them until they signed their new coach and they made this run.
The Hawks!
Now, that's another podcast for another time. Unless you listen to it already, then you already know. Shout out to you fans that have been here since the beginning. I don't think they make the Eastern Conference Finals again this year. I think they overachieved this year, which is commendable, which is amazing, and helped put Atlanta on the map. It definitely built a platform for Trae Young and Trae Young's fans to speak on. Y'all miss this kid. You've been sleeping on him, such and such. I mean, that last year, that was phenomenal. It was completely incredible. We covered that during our other podcast, but I don't think these moves move them into the Eastern Conference Finals going into 2022. Let's head to the Boston Celtics, who have cut Tristan Thompson and did not re-sign Evan Fournier. They have made no move so far. Do you think that Marcus Smart is in trade rumors? Or let me say that. He is in trade rumors. Do you think he'll be dealt, or do you think they're going to bring in somebody that's going to put them over the top or stay pat with their new head coach? Do you think he's going to take what he has and see what he has until maybe the trade deadline? Let me put it like that.
Early on, they did make a move. They did bring Al Horford back.
Oh, that's correct. That's correct. They did bring Al Horford back.
I don't know if that's like a...
Yeah, but where is
Al Horford in his career?
Where is he at in his career right now?
So I don't know if that's like a game changer for them, and their roster is already kind of. I feel like it's iffy, and then you lose.
Can they still bring Fournier? Did Fournier sign with anybody yet? I don't believe
he already signed elsewhere. Okay. We'll get into that one.
So the Knicks. I feel like they're still that 4th, 5th best in the East with their current roster.
I think they had to bring Smart back.
Yeah, they need to bring Smart
Yeah,
back.
I think right now maybe he might be in rumors, but it's like, who are you going to go out and get for Smart right now? Like, what? I don't know. I don't see you dealing him. I think he suits what that team's got going on. He's that grit. He's that defender. I think they need him on their team right now. So I don't know. Having a new coach, but I think he has to stay there. I think the Celtics, though, right now, Tatum, you're just in a bad spot. You know, you got the Nets right now. You still got the 76ers who got Embiid. They still got to dish out what they got to do with Simmons, figure that out. But like I said, you got the Heat who got better. Chicago, they're making trades. Boston, you got to do something, you know? And I just don't think these two teams, Atlanta and Celtics, have made enough moves to, like, we've literally seen teams dismantle their whole team right now, besides like a player or two.
Yeah.
And it's like, y'all dropped one player in Fournier who, like, I wouldn't have dropped at all. Like, you should have tried to keep him, but then you overpay. You don't think they should have kept him?
I've seen enough of Fournier outside of 1 year and a little bit of Olympics. I'm not buying high on that.
But who's replacing that?
Here's what I think. I think, because we got to remember, the Celtics have been in the Eastern Conference Finals like 4 out of the last 5 years?
Different coach this
Maybe
time?
3 out of the last 5 if I'm wrong on that. So, I mean, I think what we're seeing is not necessarily a rebuild, but kind of, again, we have a new coach. We have a new president of basketball operations who's running the show, who was the coach. Now he's kind of overseeing the product as opposed to running it. A new coach who needs to see what his roster is, which is why, Devin, to your point, as high as I was on if Brad Stevens was coming in as a head coach, that they would move Marcus Smart, I don't think they do it anymore. I think the new head coach, I think he wants to see what they have. He needs to be given the right to see what he has with these guys and to see what he can do with them before these moves get made. But again, if you go to a lot of those Eastern Conference Finals, you're a couple of games away from the finals. I mean, eventually there is going to be a fall. I don't think we're going to see as big of a fall as most teams typically see. So I see it more as a retool this year before maybe they get right back up to it.
So they're playing in the East, which helps.
Certainly.
But there's other teams in the East that are doing things to improve themselves as well.
So it definitely doesn't move the needle. The second round team, second round out. It's kind of where I'm at with them.
Yeah. Depending
Sound
on
about right.
They got to make moves, man. They got to make some moves. And where do you see them getting better? So if you see, even if they stayed the same, bro, they lost pieces. They lost pieces to what they had, and I think they fell.
And I think
they
they're
fell, and I think other teams in the East are rising.
There were a few plays that were to be made that either they would sign Evan Fournier again or they'd bring in Lonzo Ball, a guy who has dramatically increased his three-point shooting.
But that's what I'm saying.
And
you're
he can handle the ball.
You're already losing.
And they didn't get either of those.
Right, you're already losing. So it's like, where are you going to get better now? Because these players are already signing. They're already getting all these players. Now you're already losing all your minimum vets too. So it's like, who are you going to go out there and get? Iguodala?
No, he's gone too.
That's what I'm
already
saying.
off the market.
And
you're going to get your vet in Al Horford, Devin.
No, Al Horford is going to give you 10 minutes like a Cousins. He's done. You know, he's at the end of his road.
End of that career kind of guy.
Yeah, like, hey, you were a Hawk. You came here. You gave us some good time. We're probably going to retire here.
I think the Celtics are a trade deadline type of team, not a free agency type of team. I think that's where we're at. So let's move on. The Brooklyn Nets. So they re-signed Blake. He comes back, the old dunk machine with no knees, but, rejuvenized.
Good signing for him.
Good signing for him. Bruce Bowen returns on a 1-year deal. Here's what I'm excited about. A former Heat guy, James Johnson. He can play some D. He can shoot. Not bad. But then the big one, Patty Mills. They signed to a 2-year deal. Gentlemen, does this move the needles to basically what was supposed to be a finals team? Does this put them definitely in the finals, if not the title favorite?
Well, see, signing Patty Mills, how does that affect Kyrie right now? Does he feel attacked? I don't know.
I think it's an insurance plan for.
I think it's an insurance policy.
Mental health weeks that he has to take.
That's what I'm saying.
And a great point guard to come off the bench.
I think it's a great Patty Mills, I think it's a great signing for them. I don't know what Kyrie thinks of that signing. And if KD and Harden come back and they can do what they need to do, fight off injuries, that's going to be a team to beat.
Yeah, they just got better. There's
They got
no
better.
team in the league that if they get Patty Mills, that I wouldn't be a fan of that move. Is
I
that
agree.
safe to say?
I agree. They were already probably the favorite in the East. This just puts them up a notch.
Exactly.
The best insurance plan you can have for Kyrie and his issues that he has for possible injuries.
I think it's
either
for all
Kyrie
three.
or for Harden.
Yeah, and again, if you're running Patty Mills at the 1, Kyrie at the 2, Harden at the 3, all three of those guys can handle the ball.
Right.
So even if Durant can't make it a game in the first or second round, you have more than enough firepower, and you added somebody who isn't just looking to stand around and shoot.
Right, he can get his own shot.
And he's played in the Popovich system, so he knows how to move off the ball.
Yeah.
Brooklyn, great deal. Great deal, great sign. Charlotte Hornets, boys. Charlotte Hornets. All right, so they already got their guy in the draft. I'm a big fan. I'm not saying they're going to be great. I'm thinking it's fun.
They'll be an improved team.
LaMelo Ball, he's going to do his thing. Their new draft pick, he's going to be able to shoot, or at least he's going to take a bunch of shots.
Right.
I'm pumped. But now they traded Devontae Graham to the Pelicans, so they lost him, but they did sign Ish Smith, who's a little bit of a, I like to shoot too. It's just going to be a fun team to watch. Does it move the needle?
No.
No? Maybe 10th spot East?
So they'll be battling for that
Yeah,
last
they're still gonna
play-in
be-
game.
Yeah, they're going to be at the bottom. That East is going to be tough, man.
It's getting deep.
That East is
The
going to be
Hornets
tough.
are a potential play-in game.
Yeah, they're very young, very young. They got a lot of growing to do. We'll see what they got going on, but it's just a small market team, just nothing too sexy going on there, and hopefully they do something. But that's a big if.
I think outside of the Gordon Hayward move, every other move until this point has been the right move for a small market team, for a team that has, in the last 2 years, I think drafted well.
Yeah.
So I think they're moving in the right way.
Yeah.
Let's just say that. The Chicago Bulls. Now, here's a team. So they traded Vucevic, and they tried to make a play-in, or they tried to make a run for the play-in tournament. Didn't work out, but now they got Lonzo Ball. They got the GOAT, Alex Caruso, the Alex Caruso Show. And then they just brought in, they traded away Daniel Theis, which if you're a Boston fan, you love him. If you're a Bulls fan, you probably love him. That guy, he hustles so hard. He gets fouled so much, but actually doesn't get the foul calls. He just gets his backside beat so much because he plays so hard and the refs just don't respect him for whatever reason. But then they get DeMar DeRozan. All right, hold on. So we're rolling out with the Caruso Show, Lonzo Ball at the number 1, DeMar DeRozan, and Zach LaVine. What is this Chicago team, and where do you... This definitely moves the needle up, right? It has to. Come on.
Of course. But
Okay.
I feel like they're going to be so guard-driven. Like,
In a
where's their
guard-driven
size?
league?
Where's their size, though? I feel like the league is starting to go a little
feel
bit
like
of
this is-
size.
It is starting to go big.
It's like
It is, and I love it.
This is like a poor man's East Coast Golden State. That's what that is. It's like you better hope you can drive and shoot yourself into these games, and you better hope you have some defense going along with it because Embiid's going to kill you.
Oh, is he ever?
KD's going to kill you.
Giannis.
Harden's going to kill you. So Nets are going to kill you. 76ers going to kill you.
Bam Adebayo.
Miami, they're going to kill you.
So we'll get to them.
Yeah.
And the moves they're making. Like, yeah.
Ooh!
The Bulls are going to be...
The Bulls are fun, though. This is a fun team. Like, it's not like the Charlotte Hornets where it's like, it's a fun team. It'll be cool to watch them scrape together 31 to 37 wins. Like, the Bulls should be in the playoffs. Like, it'll be a fun competing team that's actually going to get wins at the same time.
They're going to be a team that's that 5th to the 7th seed,
Yeah.
and be a first-round exit.
They're going to beat the Hornets.
I think for sure they're going to beat the Hornets. I'm glad. I like what they're doing so far.
I really do like the moves.
I don't think there's a longevity there, is I guess the situation. But for 2022, I think it's fun. It spices it up.
They're all getting paid, so
Yeah, I don't think like 2 years from now, this is even going to look remotely the same. But like right now, hell, I think it's fun. The Cleveland Cavaliers, they got Jared Allen to a 5-year extension. So far, they still got Sexland.
Next.
Doesn't move them up, doesn't move them down.
They don't. They're still the Cavaliers.
It's going to be a really good game between them and the Hornets.
They're slowly on the way up with some smart draft picks and
They
things.
got some. They're a young team. They're a young team.
Even then.
Yeah,
they're going to be bottom. They're going to be another lottery team next year.
Yeah, they're a young team, and they haven't really been making any great moves in the office.
Tough, man.
Since like LeBron James. So maybe like LeBron James would help the office out again.
The NBA is going to rig it up, and they'll get another great draft pick not to do anything with.
I think we said all we could.
Yeah, go Cavaliers.
I'm not a fan
if
of.
you don't do anything, it's hard to say anything.
Hey, you know what? Dan Gilbert.
What did you do?
Dan Gilbert, before LeBron even left Cleveland, he said, you know what? If he leaves, I'll be glad to have my team back.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
You got it.
You got it, buddy.
Go Browns.
The success shows for itself. Go Browns. All right, Dallas Maverick. Here we go. So, one of the first big teams that really needs to make a splash in order to keep, maybe in order to keep their star player, but there's been some rumors out there.
The offer's already on the table. They're giving him the max deal. They're just waiting for limits to be over, and he's going to sign.
Is it a Harden max deal where in 2 years he wants to get out of there? Because right now, so what they're rolling out with Tim Hardaway.
You're going to say this name. What's the next name? And that's why I'm going to tell you why he's back.
All right, so we got Tim Hardaway Jr. just agreed to a 4-year deal.
Which is a good deal for him. Good player, good.
You're talking about Reggie Bullock then agreeing to a 3-year deal.
Oh, no. You know who we're talking about.
Let's move back up. We got Sterling Brown agreeing to a deal with the Mavs. Have you forgotten Kristaps is still there?
That's what
the unicorn?
Hopefully that changes.
Have you seen a unicorn with no legs and what that looks like? What he's talking about, what my good friend Josh is talking about, a Dallas fan over here, Clippers fan, Dallas Clippers fan.
Great. Boban.
They re-signed the Boban Marjanovic.
Which is Luka's best friend on the team.
It's a good start.
Great signing to kind of, hey, we're doing this to keep you happy kind of situation. We're bringing your buddy back.
You know what would make him happy? Kawhi Leonard.
Of course. And I'm getting nervous about that one because he hasn't signed. He opted out. And I'm like, so what's taking so long to do this deal, guys?
It's hard to sign someone when they're having surgery on their knee.
It's also hard to sign Kawhi Leonard.
Clippers.
And knowing anything that man wants.
Give him the max. Just throw it out there. Say, here's the max. Take it.
Kawhi could sign with the Charlotte Hornets, and I'd be like, sure.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I'm afraid.
Makes a ton of sense. It really does.
I see what you did there.
Yeah.
You know,
I'm going to go to a nice, quiet, small town and just ball.
I'm like, bro,
yep, sounds like Toronto.
He hasn't signed yet, and I'm like, what's the holdup? Like,
they're just redealing.
Well,
what's going on?
He's going to LA.
If Curry's worth $215 million, I must be worth $220, right?
Are you?
Give it to him.
That's crazy.
Give it to him. Pay the man.
I'm just looking at 2 MVPs and 3 rings versus no MVPs, 2 rings. I mean,
Bro.
Pay the man.
But you got to pay him, and it's LA. They can pay
Clippers, pay him. Mavs.
We're not even on the Clippers yet.
Listen.
Mavericks, do these moves, let me ask you this. Do these moves bring Dallas past the Clippers so it doesn't move the needle?
No.
No.
It just makes Luka
all
happy.
that you just said. Hey, talk
It
about
makes Luka
Boban.
happy. That's what matters. You need Luka or
Dallas
you're nothing.
will go as far as Luka takes him, and don't forget, Luka did get a little injury, and he was playing through it. But Porzingis has to step his game up.
Listen, Slovenia will go as far as Luka can take him.
That's a different story. That's a different story. We're about to find out Thursday what they do to France.
We're gonna take him to gold.
Yeah, we'll see what that's about on Thursday. But man, I don't know.
I think it moves the needle because they're not going to face the Clippers again.
You just re-signed. You just re-signed your team, and then you signed Bullock. Like, I'm not impressed about what you did.
I'm not.
So,
and you got to get rid of Kristaps.
Yeah,
he's got to go. But who's going to get him? Who wants him at all? Unless it's Cleveland for Kevin Love.
Can you get like Ben Simmons for him or something? Like
Ben Simmons?
I don't know. Like who's
for
out
Kristaps? No way.
Trash for trash. I love it.
No,
Pull
you
the trigger.
All right, let's move on. So we got the Denver Nuggets. We spent way too much time. All right, let's go to the Denver Nuggets. So Austin Rivers, getting Austin Rivers, re-sign. Jeff Green. I mean, depending on the stint,
right,
you get a different Jeff Green.
Right,
especially in the playoffs.
Yeah, 1 game.
2-year deal. Nuggets are going to re-sign Will Barton. Of course they will. Big Will Barton fan over here. You just keep balling, man. You just keep taking your shots and you just keep having all that confidence. I'm a big fan. It is helping your
We
team.
know you're watching, Will.
We know you're watching us, and we appreciate you. We appreciate your view,
And we
your
know,
clicks,
we know,
your likes,
we
your
know
subscribes.
Denver would have went better if you weren't injured. We know that.
Facts.
We know that.
Jermichael Green agrees to a 2-year deal. All right, so Denver, for the last few years, has been a top 4, if not better, team in the NBA outside of 1 year.
Well, that's what happens.
Michael
with your point
Porter
guard. But Murray got hurt.
Murray got hurt.
Barton was hurt.
That whole roster was decimated, and they have the MVP
Porter got better.
on
Porter
their
got
team.
better. Porter got better because of those injuries.
Think about it.
So
Think
for
about
them
it.
not re-signing anybody, they are going to be better because they're going to get their
So,
players back.
The question is, does these moves move the needle at all?
No, they will be. They will have a better record than last year. I don't know if they're going to go any farther than they did this year.
So I don't think it moves the needle, but they're still going to be a contender in the West.
They're going to be a contender. They're going to be a contender because
But I don't know if
it's
it's like-
proven. It's proven that they're going to be there.
Well, hold on.
Them, the Jazz, both LA teams, they're going to be there. Well, depending on Kawhi, but
I'm looking at them in the Lakers roster right now, and I'm like, I'm really liking Denver against them. So that's
course
a
you do.
needle mover, right?
That's because the stupid moves Lakers made, not because of the moves the Nuggets have made.
Good point. All right, let's move on. Right now in August, before we go into the preseason, I'm with Devin. I think they're going to win more regular season games. I'm not certain it actually gets them further in the playoffs. Right now, let's table that. Detroit! Cade Cunningham. Here we go. All right, so we got the number 1 pick for the first time in like 40 years. Detroit gets them. They signed Kelly Olynyk. I had a feeling this man was going to get paid. I had a feeling they're like, he's kind of a veteran guy. We can kind of give him some money compared to everyone else who's already been taken, but who we don't want. They get Kelly Olynyk, Trey Lyles to a 2-year deal, and Corey Joseph. I mean, it's a bad team.
It doesn't matter who they sign right now. You're just hoping.
But there's
Things
so
work
much.
out.
There's so much more promise to it than the last 3 years.
that's what happens when you get the first pick. You get the first pick, you're going to get a little bit of hype behind it. I guess you're in the East.
Let's
We did
see
say
what
the
it
East
turns
is gonna-
into,
the
because-
East is going to be better, but
You're still.
compete with the Cavaliers and Charlotte.
You're
and
the bottom middle.
Pistons. Yeah, good luck.
The worst
know
thing
what I
they
mean?
could do right now is overachieve and be like 10th or 11th,
Right, because that play in like.
and have
Fighting
nowhere to
for
go
a
and no
playing game.
draft picks.
Unless Josh picks you to do good and before the
Unless
season
you're my
starts.
dark horse.
Yeah, then I just hey, you can't shoot him down yet. They still Cade Cunningham. He might be the next thing.
Right, he could come in and shine.
Garza, he was a baller. He was one of the best players, if not, I think he won the best player in basketball. So he's no
The
joke.
potential's there.
They got some hype around them. Just like it's just these young teams, the Cavaliers, Charlotte. They got a lot of growing up to do.
I'm waiting to see the other players on the Pistons that think it's their team and not Cade's. I can't wait to see like 20
Yeah.
shots go up by the
That's-
other guys, and
he has to
everyone's
come
like,
in and take over.
Well,
Brother,
I'm pretty
what is
sure
happening?
I'm pretty sure Kelly Olynyk doesn't think it's his team.
No, I don't think he does.
Yeah.
All right,
That's why he has like 7 jerseys.
Golden State. Hold on now.
They're going to be better.
They had 2 picks in the first
The
round.
champ is here.
They
Doesn't
had the
matter.
number 2 pick from last year.
Doesn't matter.
Klay Thompson's coming
Klay
back.
Thompson's back.
Draymond Green is still here. They just re-signed Steph Curry.
Like, the rich get richer.
They brought. I'm gonna butcher this. I'm usually good with names. Jalika,
Yeah, that's his name.
Sounds good.
Jalinka Silent B, to a vet minimum deal, but Otto Porter Jr. Now keep this in mind. He was a once $100 million player. Granted, Washington gave him that money, but a $100 million player. He can play D. He
On
can
a-
shoot the 3.
And this is a put
You
up or
line
shut up
him
deal.
up with these guys.
The Otto Porter Jr. deal is a put up or shut up. It's
And they
come in and
currently-
play well, and you can get paid somewhere else. Kind
They
of
currently
thing.
still have Wiggins.
Yeah.
This is kind of a sneaky deep team.
That's to me. They improved their bench, and you already had the probably the best starting lineup whenever you put those guys together. So again, the rich get richer. Like they just improved, and they were already probably the favorites if they can stay healthy.
I think this is the easiest move the needle team because they were in the play-in tournament. So yeah, they got Otto Porter Jr. That moves the needle.
You can't even put that into it. Like
You're flying up to top 3. I think just about does
Thompson
it for them.
coming back moves the needle from playing game to top 3.
Absolutely.
and the big move,
Absolutely,
obviously
let's be real.
signing Steph to the max.
Yep.
He's happy.
Obvious move.
He's happy.
Yeah.
Everyone's happy.
You have to do it.
Kerr's going to be happy because he's
Golden
not going
State
to be in the
loves
playing
him.
game. Yeah,
He's still there. That's phenomenal.
it's going to be fun ball again.
We can get rid of all that. LeBron was recruiting him, and they were going to join. And even though it made no $254 million sense,
The only thing
that ran
made
for
sense,
4 months.
Yeah, the only thing that made sense is because they were from like the same town, in
Akron.
Ohio. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
like okay, maybe, but also like $100 million extra dollars sounds good too. So we're gonna
Let's
run
get that to Westbrook instead. Houston Rockets. All right, now hold on. Talk about a long fall from grace. A perennial Western Conference Finals contender. You get rid of Harden because he got fat and wanted to leave.
Yeah, Houston Rockets were good.
It is what it is.
They were good, and then they haven't did anything, and
No.
they're not going to do anything.
They got
and
Daniel Theis
What'd you say to me?
and Waba.
All right, so Houston Rockets. Good luck. Next team.
Hey, they made some good drafts. That's all they're going to be for the next couple of years. Hope
I
these
agree, it
draft
was a
picks.
good draft.
They got to hope these draft picks turn into something. But again, they're going to be the bottom. They're another.
I could look on
This
my
is a
phone.
rebuild,
We're
not a
looking on his
retool.
phone, looking at all these phones. There's no answers for the Rockets. Go to the next
Yeah,
team.
they're a lottery team for sure.
Trash.
It does not move the needle for the Houston Rockets.
No, it moves
went the
it
other
more
way.
down. More down.
Come
The
on,
needle goes
fellas.
down.
Come
Even
on,
worse.
fellas. All right,
They might
Indiana.
be the worst team. Are they like the Houston Texans?
I haven't get.
Is Houston just going straight downhill? What's going on?
It's a Houston connection.
All right.
All right, Indiana Pacers. Now, what we're really talking about here is a team that was contending in the playoffs in the East
Yeah.
until there was a mutiny. They got rid of the coach, and even then, they still played on through the playoffs. They had T.J. McConnell, and Torrey Craig signs to a 2-year deal. So what we're really asking is, if a new coach comes in here, can their ceiling be raised, or actually will it be raised?
They're getting a better coach. I will say that. Still,
You don't have any ties to that better
Rick
coach,
Carlisle
do you?
did some great
Rick
things.
Carlisle?
but again,
Dallas?
what they're gonna be is that middle of the East.
They're going to be right where
They're
exactly
fighting
where they were.
They're fighting for the Bulls for that,
Yeah.
like 4th, 5th, 6th spot kind of thing. So nothing exciting, nothing.
I have to agree. I don't think this spices anything up. I think actually they overachieved given what they were up against last year, and
They
so
should try
I
to get
think
Paul George back. That would help.
this is
That
not
would raise,
2013.
That would raise the needle.
It would. I saw
Yeah.
him last year.
Yeah.
I saw him last year. What I think we're going to do is they're going to be about exactly where they were, which is right about where they should be. Because I really think they were climbing up a mountain last year with everything they were going through. And now we're going to get a chance to see, all right, here is who we are. Let's evaluate and let's continue on.
They
as an
need a
organization.
player to put them over the top.
Absolutely.
They were just like, we're all going to score 18 points.
Yeah.
We're going to play
Team ball
team
is
ball. It can get you places. It can get you wins. It can battle you
It'll
in these
get you
games.
to the playoffs, but that's
Someone has to take over, and they're lacking that. As Paul George would be nice to have.
Let's move on to the most, I guess I can't say the most fun team because that's still coming up. We got the Los Angeles Clippers here. Josh,
interesting.
so far they don't have Kawhi Leonard, but they did re-sign Nick Batum, who they already had.
So the Batum move doesn't move like.
So does that move
as
them
of
anywhere?
right now?
They're the same.
The needle's not moving at all.
No, they're not the same because they don't have Leonard.
If Leonard doesn't sign, the needle drops.
A lot.
If Leonard signs, I don't even know if the needle really increases. Again, does it stay the same? They're going to be
Stays the same, but obviously losing Leonard. And there was a lot of injuries, man. Injuries is the key word. A lot of injuries. A lot of these teams, they need
the
some
entire
time
NBA
off.
was
They need some
hurt.
time off. And going through surgery, too, it's like, is it going to be enough time off for these guys? We're seeing football season
he's coming
start.
back.
But we're seeing football season
Yeah, he's going to
start.
miss a lot of the season.
Yeah, we're
He
seeing
is gonna miss
football
a lot.
season start, and some of these people are having injuries from last year, and they're still not going to be healthy for the start of this year.
Right.
And basketball season is going to be coming up quick.
Yeah,
you know.
listen,
So
Kawhi is definitely not going to be there for the beginning.
No.
But again, As long as he resigns, they'll be okay. They may not be a top seed without him in the first half of the season, but they'll still be a playoff team, and they'll be dangerous in the playoffs.
It's going to be all on that schedule, man. They could drop.
Give me 6 or 7 spot Clippers against the Warriors for a 7-game series.
I'll
That
take,
would blow my mind. I would love it so much.
Give me that or the Lakers in the first round.
Ooh, it'd be fun.
Like, I'm here for that.
I think the Clippers are
That's
running.
crazy. You think the Lakers are going to make the play? No, I'm just
Come on!
kidding. Carmelo's going to get him there. Just kidding.
Following up with that.
Yeah.
All right.
So yeah, it's until we see what happens with Kawhi, this one is null and void at this
I
point.
think the Clippers are running out of money. They're running out of draft picks, and this is about what you had left. And we'll see if it's going to be enough. Jury's still out. Moving on. The Los Angeles Lakers.
The new Los Angeles
The
Lakers.
new Los Angeles
Yeah.
Lakers.
Yeah.
The old Los Angeles Lakers.
And the old brittle Los Angeles
What is
Lakers.
I wonder what their average age is.
The 1 year deal Los
We'll
Angeles
find out.
Lakers.
Oh,
Yeah.
man. A team full of one year. So they bring in Carmelo Anthony. They bring in Dwight Howard, Trevor Ariza. Malik Monk, though, he's young.
Yeah.
3-and-D guy, and his
They
three-point
picked
shot
up Monk?
got really good. They picked
Yeah.
up Monk.
I didn't know that. That's
Yeah.
Okay, he could shoot. Kentucky boy, he could shoot. All right, good for him.
Exactly. He'll be.
That's a decent pickup. Underrated.
That's a big two. Carmelo
Yeah.
and Monk right there.
Yeah. That's decent right there.
Wayne Ellington, Kent Bazemore, 3-and-D guy. Kendrick Nunn, a former Miami.
Oh,
Yeah.
point guard. He gave him some little spice.
He brings some spice.
Yeah.
And then they re-signed Taylor Horton Tucker, but of course, they bring in Russell Westbrook. Your thoughts, gentlemen. Devin, your
So
thoughts.
there's only one ball on the basketball court. LeBron James isn't a shooter.
Melo's over there.
Who's gonna have the ball? Melo, you don't have to guard LeBron now. You know what I mean? He's on your team, so that's good.
How is Westbrook off ball?
Not
Can't
great.
can't shoot the three.
Did you see how the Lakers
Yeah.
defended him in the playoffs?
His mid game is not Chris Paul. He's gonna take some assists away from LeBron. LeBron's still gonna take the game over. I don't know how is it gonna be like James Harden again? I don't know. What is this gonna be?
You know what's really funny? So, we've
what
gone
do you
through.
think Westbrook and LeBron are gonna do together?
Here's the deal.
Are
I
they still
feel
gonna pass it into Anthony Davis and just hope he gets 40?
if any of you have seen the series Loki and alternate universes and how like one thing happens and it branches off to others and they can't allow it to happen. The TVA are not allowed to allow it to happen. That's their job, is to stop it from happening. For like the last 7 years, I've been screaming at the top of my lungs is that LeBron and Westbrook need to play together because Westbrook is LeBron but shorter.
And smaller.
And if anyone can harness the ability of Westbrook, the guy won with Kyrie Irving. Now, Kyrie played out of his mind, but have you seen Kyrie in the years before and the years after? Not much and hurt. And he shoots a lot. And he's an ISO guy. Westbrook is an atomic bomb that you're trying to harness. But what he will do, LeBron can now sit in the corner. And Westbrook can lob it to AD. And he can get 11 assists a game, play make, distribute, drive with vengeful.
Is LeBron like a good
Craziness.
spot up shooter?
LeBron's adequate. He's adequate. But again, now you take it, you let him rest, and you're not trying to run your offense through Caruso as the primary ball handler.
Does LeBron?
I agree. It's a downgrade from Caruso.
does LeBron want that rest though?
He's been playing.
He needs the rest.
He's been playing career low minutes throughout the last few years. They've been getting lower and lower. And when he's on the court, they win. And they do really well offensively. As soon as he steps off, they plummet.
I will say
The craziest thing.
I will say they're gonna have a hell of a driving team. Like Westbrook's gonna be driving hard. Anthony Davis is gonna come at you hard. LeBron James is gonna come at you hard, and Carmelo's still got that tough, grit to him. Yeah, he's gonna spot up and shoot. He likes that little 18-footer, but he's still gonna come at you. He's still gonna come at you. You know what I mean? He's still gonna give you a shoulder. They're gonna beat you up. So they're gonna be tough. They need a. Who's going to shoot the three? What?
Anthony Davis.
JJ Redick, whenever they sign him to a league veteran deal.
So
Where's he going to go? I wonder. He's still kind of
Still waiting.
And
Still pending.
waiting
Yeah,
for
that
no.
defensive liability.
despite Carmelo Anthony's just complete disregard for actually wanting to shoot the 3-point shot, on his catch and shoots, he's phenomenal from three. This last year, he was exceptional.
He's a
But he
natural,
needs to want to do
He's
it.
a natural shooter.
Yeah.
So like when he gets that just pass and he's gonna shoot, not thinking about passing it again, he's a natural habitat. Like that's him. That's where he's at. Once he gets that second guessing where he's gonna like pass it over to like the corner or pass it inside, or he holds on the ball, gives it a dribble, that's not his game.
That's not his game. As much as we love it, and as much as it worked for him 2011 and prior, where it was a bit more of wing isolation type, that did work. It's just a different game.
Yeah, he had more of a younger jump to him, where he just drives.
Definitely, yeah. Young legs.
Yeah, now it's just like he needs that open shot.
You know what's great too is, we just spent a few minutes talking about how Westbrook takes a lot of bad shots, bad mid-range shots. Now, granted, I think LeBron is going to be 2018 screaming at him like J.R. Smith. I definitely see that happening when, Westbrook pulls up from like 28 with like 20 seconds left on the shot clock. Because, LeBron does it. Pulls up from the logo, right? The let F you type shot. But when Westbrook's going to do it, and I'm going to love it, and I can't wait to watch it just clang off the rim. But Westbrook's mid-range game, so they've been doing the analytics forever. And everyone says, I would love to see more of a mid-range game. Popovich said, without that in the post game, it's lost its beauty. The average amount of points that you get per possession from a mid-range shot from forever back until now is 0.78. Westbrook is 0.80. So even though we all know it's a bad shot and Westbrook's a bad shot, we all of a sudden just want to see more of it, just not from Westbrook, who's actually slightly better.
Yeah. Makes sense.
He's like, yeah, makes sense.
Yeah.
Devin, what your point is, I think the Lakers are stacking strength on strength on strength on strength. You have LeBron, you have Anthony Davis, you have Dwight Howard, you have Russell Westbrook. All these guys put so much pressure on the rim. Do you know these guys are going to average like 35 free throws a game?
Are these guys favorites in the West?
Absolutely.
Absolutely not, he meant.
I don't know.
Absolutely.
Well,
not.
if it all comes together, because again, like I said, I wanted to see these guys paired up, but again, that's they're quite a bit older now. LeBron's going to be like
Bro,
38.
The chemistry
Westbrook's gonna be like
of the
34.
Warriors.
They haven't had any. They've all been hurt.
What are you talking? They have years. They've
all been hurt.
They didn't.
We're
lose
talking
it.
about the Lakers
They
being
didn't lose
fragile.
it.
We're
They
talking
didn't-
about the Golden
no.
State.
No, they
haven't
didn't
been
lose
healthy.
They didn't lose the chemistry though. They're still the same team.
How can you not lose chemistry when you're trying to pass it to a guy who's sitting on the bench icing his knees?
Because I thought this was Thompson over there. I thought this was Curry when I was playing, and it
No,
wasn't.
Thompson's over there in the training
Yeah,
room.
That's what I'm saying. But you didn't lose that. You still wanted that there. You still had the chemistry of that man being on the court. And
There's locker room chemistry, traveling.
They're
I get what
still
you're saying.
shooting. They're still natural shooters. So even though their legs were hurt, they were still out there walking around shooting. They didn't lose that. And
The Lakers are the NBA 2K team that I always end up putting together when I have no money. And I'm just like, Melo's out there. What's funny is going into this, I was like, the biggest question mark I have that I would ever have if that's ever happened was Westbrook on this team. And then they signed Melo. And I'm like, oh my gosh. I don't even know how to process this.
It'll be interesting to see. I'm very curious. I don't have them as a favorite, but they're definitely a
Anthony
top.
Davis needs to stay healthy
three.
as well.
Are they getting out of the second round? Does it move the needle?
Yeah, it has to move the needle.
Hey, it moves the
it
needle. They're
moves the
going to the
needle.
Western Conference Finals.
Let's calm down.
All right, maybe second round since they lost to Phoenix. Shout out to Phoenix. What a hell of a season. All right, let's move on to the Memphis Grizzlies. So far, no reported signings.
Yeah, nothing.
Yeah.
John Morant, go do your thing, boss. We all believe in
Let's hope you
you.
can do it again.
JJ,
Memphis,
keep growing.
you're doing great. good coaching, good GM. Everything
Yeah.
stays the same. You'll be
Status
exactly where you were last
You'll
year.
be another 8.
Hey, you'll be battling for the playoff spot. Let's see your youth and your experience. Let's see how much you can grow. Shout out to Memphis. I like what you're doing over there so far. Let's go, Miami!
So Miami actually made moves. This is the Lakers
Bro.
of the East.
I got a whole page of moves that we made.
Right. Miami Heat and the Bulls. They were like Look what I can do. Look what I can do. Oh, you can do that. I can do this.
Miami's like, I made 4 more than you did.
Right.
So Miami, we get Kyle Lowry. I'm not the biggest fan of that. I think we're over. I don't want to say overpaying because a lot of people would pay Kyle Lowry even more.
Right.
I like Kyle. He's a great player. It just wasn't the move that I wanted. Let me just say that. Not the move that I wanted.
He's not the sexiest point guard out there. I feel like you could have maybe got a younger
He brings
talent.
some confidence that I have in him when he's running the offense.
He has some,
which is nice.
He has that Miami Heat, what they're looking for, that defense that they want. He brings that. He can catch fire. We'll see how he
I don't know if he's going to need
with
to. That's
Jimmy
the thing.
Butler.
It's not a sexy move, but it's a calm move.
I don't think he
You
needs
got-
to catch fire though. I think
you
he
got
just needs to
a
be
better-
like facilitate.
He doesn't need to catch fire.
Yeah, you got
What he can't do is go cold like
right.
prior to Kawhi Leonard Raptors.
Yeah, you got a more than better point guard who's got a ship,
Yeah.
who's been there. He's a vet.
He fits.
He fits the team.
He fits
So
the team. Jimmy Butler agrees to a max. We keep Jimmy. Duncan Robinson, we signed him to a 5-year deal. Scorching hot. We get PJ Tucker from the Bucks. We just plucked someone off the NBA champions.
lose Iguodala, bring in Tucker. Defense for defense.
Now, what you thought of PJ
Same,
Tucker
same.
in the playoffs or in the
Same,
finals, whole different story. But we pulled a piece from Milwaukee. We got Max Strus. We got Gabe Vincent. We got Dwayne Dedman. We kept him back. He seemed to really fit with us. And we got Markieff Morris. We plucked him from the Lakers. I like our moves. I like our moves.
I feel like the Robinson might be a little bit overpaid.
Probably is.
If you get 2 years ago, Robinson, good. Last year, Robinson,
No.
man.
I mean, props to him. He the highest contract of an undrafted player.
Get your money, Duncan.
Props for him. You know, I mean, he's a Michigan man, so
You know what I'm
Anytime-
pumped about?
anytime a Michigan guy can get paid, take it.
Luxury tax and all, number one, not my money. So I'm never worried about a team going to luxury tax unless I'm worried about, hey, are we not going to compete because we're going into luxury tax? I know Mickey Harrison's cruise lines the last 2 years, they're not doing very
Taking some
well.
hits.
They're taking some hits. People aren't going anywhere. This guy's still spending money. Yeah, baby. Him and Pat Riley. Love what we have going on over there in Miami. I think this moves our needle up from last year. I think we're getting out of the first round. I think we may be competing in the Eastern Conference Finals.
Definitely contenders.
Definitely contenders for the ECF.
It
I'm not going to
puts
say
them-
finals.
I'd say that 4 spot.
But again, I'm looking at that depth.
I
Going
put
against
them at
Brooklyn is a little bit lacking in that. I mean, hey.
Yeah, let's not. Calm down. Calm down. I know you're a Heat fan, but calm
You're
down.
right. You're right. Let me check my fandom real quick here.
So
Check my fandom. Milwaukee Bucks, Bobby Portis. All right, defending champs. Bobby Portis returns on a 2-year deal. Semi Ojeleye agrees to a deal with the Bucks.
I think losing PJ is going to kind of hurt just because that's.
I think
want
there's
to
a
keep
grit
that
there.
Guys together kind of thing.
Uh-huh.
Definitely doesn't move the needle. I don't think.
Can you move
I
it
think
up
they-
from winning the title?
I think they're going to take a step back. I think they overachieved. I don't got them going back to the even the ECF personally. So
Not even the ECF.
no.
Oh man.
I mean, I
I don't know about that.
If we're making as much of a big deal as KD's foot on the line, then you're right.
He
Do
already
they run into
have
Brooklyn
been
in the
there.
second round? Do they run into Miami again, which Miami's proven they can
Yeah.
push those guys around a little bit?
So
That's not as hot of a take as I thought it was. I also don't have Milwaukee repeating as the NBA champion, so I got to say it moves the needle down.
They're not repeating. I could see them going back to the Eastern Conference Finals. I could see that.
I'm not going to say that they're not yet.
Yeah.
I will.
There you go.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Josh. Thanks for saying what we couldn't say.
Yeah.
Minnesota Timberwolves so far, no re-signings yet.
I mean,
Next.
those are bold moves there.
We'll see if it works out for them.
Yeah, those are bold moves.
That could be the another Rockets right there.
Yeah.
Anthony Edwards, keep doing you.
Yeah.
Towns, Edwards.
Towns. Oh man, they got to get rid of Towns. Like they got to do that man a favor. He just needs a change of scenery. He needs something to change
Maybe
for the
this
better in his
year
life.
at that come that trade deadline, maybe this will finally be the time. Like, hey, we're going to do you a favor, young man. Go get us another draft pick that we can do nothing with.
Minnesota, do the right thing. Get some picks back for this.
You know, Towns could be that piece that puts a lot of teams.
There could be that team that's that middle of the pack
Yeah.
that kind of puts them over. So
Pacers, Celtics.
Celtics.
You know what I mean?
Put 'em with
Atlanta.
put them to the Bulls.
Yeah, Atlanta. Bulls.
Bulls have enough all stars. They're a super team.
I don't know what you're gonna do, Minnesota. Hey, good luck to y'all. Go Vikes.
New Orleans Pelicans. So they lose Lonzo Ball.
Okay,
They pick up Devontae Graham. They
I
get
see what you're doing.
Tomas Satoransky, Garrett
Right.
Temple in a
Okay.
side and trade with the
Okay,
Bulls.
Temple. Okay.
Yep. And Didi Luzada, 4-year deal.
Well,
Now the
Pelicans,
big. Go ahead.
go Pelicans. Zion, Brandon.
The big move is
Good
that
luck, man.
the big move is that they got rid of Stan Van Gundy.
Stay healthy.
So that might move the
And
needle
play
right
for
there.
that play-in game, guys.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Stay healthy, and they will be playing for the play-in.
You don't
game.
live in Minnesota.
These guys.
At least you got good food.
These guys.
Enjoy Mardi Gras.
I say it moves the needle up. Just getting rid of the head coach and getting a new one in, I say it moves the needle up. I'm buying a little bit of Pelican stock right
Hopefully
now.
Zion and Ingram get better, and it's a bad time to
And they
be
don't fit.
not great.
They did.
if you're
make a
not great,
trade.
if you're not great right now, you're just not like.
Those are two bona fide stars.
I want to say they made a trade.
No, they're
for
stars.
And
They're stars, but
and
it's
they're
like
not making the playoffs.
you're top 50.
It's a bad time
You know,
right
you're
now.
like top 50 star. You know what I mean? Like there's so many
The
players
roster pool
that-
is stupid deep. It's
Good
crazy.
luck to them. I hope they compete. That's a young, talented team. That it's not like the Cavaliers. They have hope and they can compete. It's not Houston. It's not. They actually have young talent that's
Well, that's the
almost
thing.
not young no more.
There's
you know,
so
you can
much
consider their
hope
talent that's
on
not
that
young
team.
no more. And then you have your young talent in Zion, who's already the next thing. So let's see what they got going on. I wouldn't shoot them down, but they're like.
I think they're going up.
They're like the Indian Pacers of the West.
I think they're going up. All right, here we go. The New York. Oh, Josh, you got something for us?
Grizzlies did make a move with the Pelicans.
Did they recently?
The Pelicans did get Valanciunas
Valanciunas.
Okay.
from the Grizzlies.
See,
so,
I'm buying some stock.
so that is a good
Grizzlies
move for
didn't
them.
make a move; they just lost a guy.
That has helped the Pelicans, in my opinion.
No, that's a good move for the Pelicans.
Good
That's
move.
A good move.
So that does move the needle for
Yeah.
that. Free agency wise, nothing, but that move does help
That's
them
a
out.
vet guy who can assist, can get rebound. That's a good move. That's a good move.
Is he better than Steven Adams as a rebounder, though? As far as the fit, for
He's
the
a
team?
better around
I'm not
player.
going to say
He's
is.
a better round player
You think so?
for sure. Adams
Okay.
is just a rebounder.
Okay. I like
guy.
the defense that Adams brings.
Adams is a great guy. He does the dirty work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, like them both. We'll see who is a better fit.
Yeah.
The New York Knickerbockers. Now, they made the playoffs. They had New York City on fire. On fire. Brooklyn Nets nowhere to be seen, even though they were the title favorite. New York was out there representing with the Randall jerseys. They had it all. Weren't able to get out of the first round.
And you can put them back in the closet because they're not going to get out of the first round again.
But they got your boy Evan Fournier. They returned. Derrick
Derrick
Rose is
Rose
returning. Nerlens Noel's 3-year deal. Alec Burks, Taj Gibson.
Nothing like, oh my God, this is going to be a great season for the Knicks.
Old school Chicago Bulls again, and hopefully they can ride Randall again, and he don't choke in the playoffs. And
I think
they
they
got
had.
Fournier, who you're knocking, but I think he's gonna put an extra little
Well,
razzle dazzle.
So they're going to get out of the first round. They're going to make the playoffs again, and they're going to get
they
out of the
will
first round.
be in the first round.
So it doesn't. So Evan Fournier doesn't move the needle. My point exactly on Evan Fournier. He does not move
Nothing
needles
about him moves the needles.
unless he's playing Team USA in an exhibition game.
Evan Fournier
Bang
is not.
bang.
Evan Fournier is not your go-to guy. Like, so if like
He can do a lot.
Like you have Randall,
He just
who's gonna
doesn't
be,
add
Randall's gonna be
or
your
lose
guy.
wins.
Randall's gonna be your guy. But you need someone who's not Derrick Rose, even though he balled out in the playoffs. You needed that other piece, and then if you had Evan Fournier as your third, like I don't know if you
No,
were
he's very serviceable.
If you were like the Celtics and you needed some offense because Tatum and Jalen kind of slowed down, whatever. You need someone to go in there, get you some buckets real quick, help Marcus Smart, who's playing defense, and Evan Fournier comes in. That would move a needle.
The last year, Evan Fournier has been doing his thing. Stock is high, which is why New York went after him. So, I mean, he's definitely doing what needs to be done. He's earning his deals. He's showing out recently, which is great. I don't see New York winning the first round. I dare say they don't make it. The East is getting deeper and deeper every year.
The East is getting better. The East is getting better for sure.
And New York had all this cap space
to do the same thing.
And they just brought everybody back.
Yep.
I just so badly want the Knicks to be good again. And last year was exciting. All right. OKC. The draft stockpilers of the century. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander re-signs for the max. Mike Muscula to a deal. I mean, but I think it's so hard to see what direction OKC is actually going. I don't know what to make of this whole organization at this current moment as far as attempting to compete. Josh, your thoughts?
It's a team, like you're saying, that the future's bright, but right now, you don't know what it is, so you can't say needle going up, going down. It's just
stay the course.
The future
type of situation.
Yeah, you can't be like totally enthused about going into the season. Your expectations can't be super high. They shouldn't be super low either, though.
I feel like, there's so much optimism around this team, and I really love the direction that they're heading. But I feel like there's a part of me that thinks it'll be 2041 and they'll have 500 picks stockpiled and they won't have pulled the trigger on a move yet.
What would help OKC is like a vet point guard. I don't know, Chris Paul. That would help them. Other than that, I don't know. I don't know what they got going.
They'd move the needle up. They'd be a playoff team, guaranteed.
Playoff team for sure,
guaranteed. 100%. I like what they're doing. Sam Presti, keep doing what you're doing. Just start hitting on these picks. But again, now you're starting to flirt with, you're kind of scary. You're kind of actually decent. And so are those picks that you have going to be as high as what you anticipated going forward? More on that. We'll see. We'll see what happens with them. The Orlando Magic. Now, we do have a draft pick there that's pumped to be there. Now, that is enough to change a culture if his potential can actually reach, or can his skills actually reach his potential. They signed Robin Lopez to a one-year deal. Gentlemen, your thoughts? Orlando Magic.
Next.
Yeah, young, hungry. They're in Orlando.
Bottom of the East.
Better hope these draft picks help you out, but you traded all your capital, you traded all your players.
Yeah, they're
a complete rebuild.
They're rebuilding.
Yeah.
And that's a tough rebuild, especially if you're playing a game. Now, again, you can give everyone up and get your Carmelos and your Westbrooks, and maybe you can compete that way. But a really tough rebuild.
You have to have a foundation to at least try to rebuild from, and they started from scratch.
Well, they got the fifth overall draft pick.
Yeah, we'll see.
They're working on it.
And we'll move on from there. I do think they're working on it, though. I kind of like where they're headed with this year's
Florida biased opinion.
It really might be. But so until then, if the Warriors come to town, definitely get tickets because that's a 55 piece waiting to happen. Steph Curry, I was there for that. A 55 burger on us.
Yeah.
That was insane.
Might be 60 this year.
Yeah, I mean, Bruce Willis was over there just having the time of his life. Yeah. And I'm like, John McClane.
Yeah. Die hard. They're dying hard on the court.
Magic actually went to OT in that game, too. Yeah. They actually almost beat him. It was a great game. All right, so Philadelphia 76. Josh, let's start with you, man. You're high on the stock of Philadelphia.
Because they're still one of the best teams. They have one of the best players.
Yeah, they got baby Embiid over there now.
And they're going to get rid of the trash and bring in something that's going to be better because no matter what you bring in, it'll be better than what Simmons is. If you can get somebody that'll shoot the ball,
but your star player still won't.
You know what they should have did? They should have brought in Larry. Larry would have been a good fit for them.
He was rumored for them so often and for so long, and it made a lot of sense.
It makes a lot of sense. It might have made sense for Toronto too if they could have got some trading. I don't know. Whatever they could have whipped up, but Simmons is more or less not going to be happy, and he's going to be stuck in Philly, or they're getting rid of him. And
they're shopping him, but they're asking for too much.
There were like 3 first rounds, or good luck, man. Good luck with that. But you got Andre Drummond. You brought in baby Embiid.
You got Korkmaz. Yeah, they brought in Yeah, your boy Drummond there. Who's, Howard, Dwight Howard, who they just let
the
go.
same guy. So
Give or take, Vetman guy. Very
Young Howard.
physical.
Young
aggressive.
Howard, I don't know if his defense was as good as Howard
Could rebound.
back in the day, but we'll see.
My hesitation with Philly is you could have got a lot more for Ben Simmons than what you're probably going to get now.
It's a shoulda, woulda, coulda.
Right.
It is.
You missed out on some players that already signed now.
This is a yet to be determined.
That's why I think he might be stuck there.
See, and let me argue with you on that for a minute. We're talking about Philadelphia. Any other team, I'd be with you. If it was Phoenix or if it was Milwaukee, I'd be maybe you wait till the trade deadline, see how many offers you can gather. Maybe he shows out, or so maybe he can increase his trade stock. Philly boos Santa.
Yeah.
So when Ben Simmons step on the court for game one,
You have to get rid of
if
him.
he's not 40 points, he's going to get booed out of the building.
Yeah, when he misses a free throw, he's done.
That whole crowd is already so out on him. If he has a semi-good first game, I think they're just going to be at the front office with picket signs.
The minute they talked about trading him, you have to trade him now.
It's what the city wants.
They already second-guessed him, and it was like, you already came out, and that's what I just don't like, man. You come out, and you're just trying to, be that head coach and that GM, we're going to let him do him thing. We're going to let him be better. We're going to fully support our player. Don't do that. Don't.
You got to win the game. Take him out in the fourth.
Yeah.
If that's what he needs, because he's, there's something about him and his confidence in shooting. If that's what he needs, if he's not able to be there, you as a coach need someone who can, or at least who's confident enough to do it.
He's your all-star. You have to get him in there. At this point, you just get rid of him. You got to get whatever you can.
Like you said, shoulda, coulda, woulda, and now we're at where we're at, but those fans are over it.
Yeah.
And I don't think they're going to be upset with what they get back. It won't matter to a certain degree.
Like I said, you can't say them yet because we got to see what the Simmons moves does if they make a move.
I think there has to be a move. All right, let's move on to the Phoenix Suns. Chris Paul signs for 4 years. I know our guy out there, Joseph Stumper, he's not too pumped about paying this man for the next 4 years.
Him.
Hey, listen, he got you to the finals, which is what Chris Paul does. He moves the needle up, boys.
The thing
That's
is,
Chris Paul's whole career. He moves the needle.
He didn't move the needle this time. They're going to be either right back where they were.
Finals? No way.
No way. You know what I mean?
Okay, I was like,
the
come
needle's
on,
going
man.
down. The needle's going down.
You said it with the Bucks. You can't say the needle's going to move because you can't move it past the NBA final. For the Suns, it has to be winning if you're going to say it moves it.
They're not going to be in
and
the
for
finals.
the money they paid him,
they're not even going to be in the Western Finals.
I agree.
Yeah, so.
But for the 4-year deal for that man, for his age and his injury proneness,
the way he fell out in the playoffs in the finals.
he had to be hurt. That's the only thing I could think of is he was hurt and he was trying to play through it. But
Hurt, tired, old, all three.
yeah,
I mean, at this point, I don't think it's a knock.
don't play him. They need to do the minute restriction. They need to do the minute management,
Yeah.
game management for him the entire season.
Can't do that in the ship.
No, but say throughout the entire season.
Yeah.
To make sure that he's
Man, you better find some adrenaline. Stop
Listen.
doing them commercials and go out there and play.
What should go on Chris Paul's resume is that in a season where everyone had a catastrophic injury that basically ruled them out of the playoffs for the most part, Chris Paul made it to the finals
fought through it.
and he played every game.
Yeah.
That should go on Chris Paul's resume that he was one of the guys that made it all the way through. So campaign, return to a 3-year deal. JaVale McGee, a little bit of size, some length, some athleticism. 1-year deal. Nader do a 2-year deal. I don't think there's anywhere to go but down, given that, again, the
Sadly.
Warriors are back. I mean, that's the biggest move, right? It's just
Yeah.
the Warriors should be all the way back, and there's just not enough room at the top. And so I got to move the Suns down.
Yeah, for sure.
Devin, your Portland Trailblazers. So here we are again. Dame Lillard
You lost Melo, man.
sticking around. And we got Tony Snell to a 1-year deal. Cody Zeller to a 1-year deal.
This is
Norman
nothing.
Powell to a 5-year deal.
Portland is going to be in the playoffs again.
First round exit. Second round exit.
They'll lose to my Jazz.
They'll be that bottom of the
Playoffs.
playoffs,
Yeah.
fighting for either the playoff bubble
Portland.
right there, that play in, or
Portland, make a move or move the man.
yeah.
Make a move or move the man. You're not making a move by moving Melo.
What are you talking about? An icon, a legend? They made a move
So they're going down
for sure.
because they lost Melo.
moved the
They're not
needle.
making the playoffs?
No, they're gonna make the playoffs.
They're
That's it,
going to be
though.
the same.
Yeah,
Melo
that's
didn't
the
make
same.
that difference.
Yeah,
They'll be
they're
the
the
same.
same. They're gonna be the same of what exactly what
Portland. Portland every year.
they've been. Yeah.
All right. Sacramento Kings. Here we go. We got some Darian Fox action.
Not worth talking about.
Alex Lynn signs to a 2-year deal. Rashawn Mahomes, 4-year deal. Harkless to a 2-year deal. Maybe one of the most athletic and young teams that we'll see. It'll be fun. It'll be Charlotte of the West.
Dude, they're like the worst team in California.
Hey, but I mean, look, Darian Fox is out there putting up 30.
They're not worth talking about.
Maybe they can get like Towns or like Damian Lillard. Or
That would change the game. But they're also one of those teams that's like running 4 guards right now.
Yeah.
Which maybe that is the way that the league's going to go.
They're
No,
looking
they're
to
not.
build for the future. That's all they're doing.
What I really want.
What was it like? Sacramento hasn't been good in like 25 years or something like that.
Well, I mean, there's a handful of teams that haven't been, but they're drafting correct.
Yeah.
It's been abysmal, and they've been a lottery team for the last 25 years, and it's been rough. They had, I want to say they had a little bit of something with Rondo and DeMarcus Cousins, but then injuries, and then it was short-lived.
Yeah.
Small stint. As opposed to this whole guard thing, I would really, really love, even if it was a super team, don't even care. Embiid, Giannis, Jokic, Howard. I just want all the bigs on one team just to turn the whole NBA upside its head and be like, look, we're just going to play fives,
It'd
and we're
be
going to guard
interesting.
all 5, and we're just going to attack the rim.
So you're just gonna have to shoot because you're not getting in.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're not
And
gonna
by the way,
rebound.
we're all 7 feet tall, so good luck shooting over every
Right.
single one of us.
Right. So let's get to like Ben Simmons for like Towns.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, bring in Towns. Bring in
Then
Simmons.
you'll have Drummond,
6'10", he doesn't
Towns,
shoot
and Embiid.
anyway.
Right. Just run that. I like where your head's at. We could do that.
I think someone needs
Send
to turn
that in. Send that in.
a great experiment.
Yeah. Send
Run
that
it on 2K. All right, so the San Antonio.
It didn't work. I lost 112 to 68.
But I got
Spurs
60
are-
rebounds.
Right.
Spurs are finally taking that step back. They're
Yeah.
Zach Collins, 3-year deal. Doug McDermott, 3-year deal. That's about it. DeMar DeRozan's out.
I love the
Aldridge
Doug,
retired.
I love Doug McBuckets going there, but that's not going to do anything for them because they're now no longer a playoff team. They're done. You lose Patty Mills.
And their draft pick was a head scratcher, by the way. But, foreign guy.
It's the Spurs. I mean, that's what they
Yeah.
do. But
They coach
there's
him up.
nothing
Was it
to-
the
coach
right
him-
foreign guy?
They coach him up, man.
Maybe.
They coach him up over there. They're not the worst team in Texas.
Pops on the way out. Like, I'll be surprised if he plays
Yeah.
or he coaches again after this year, and then you just take.
Like I said, they're not the worst team in Texas. You're in the West right now.
I'll tell you what, the needle goes down
Yeah, it's
because they're not going to be competing for the 10th spot, which is the play-in, which is what they were.
but
they
this-
might.
They-
be
they were all
competing.
also-
They might compete for the
Without
playing game.
DeRozan?
I don't see him doing it.
The Houston Rockets are really bad.
Toronto. So a team that has built their identity on not rebuilding.
His name's not Mike Lowry. It's Kyle Lowry, and he ain't there no more.
Goran Dragic, my Heat guy, goes over there and replaces Kyle Lowry, Gary Trent Jr., Sam Decker. 3-point shooting big. Wisconsin boy.
Nothing.
So Raptors got worse. Their
So-
needle went down.
Yeah, so
Can
they're,
Siakam get
they're
better?
taking a step back. Siakam's going to get traded.
You think he is? I think they hold on to him. I think they see what he can do. I think this whole.
I think that's all they got.
Yeah.
I think it's time to build for the future. Go ahead and trade him.
They don't
But
want to
he's
do
still
that.
young. Siakam's still young. I think he's all you
20
got.
5?
He's
Is
Plus
he
or
going to want to
minus?
re-sign?
Maybe.
Well, I guess you got to see what they can do as far as some moves, but I time to blow that one up.
Yeah, if I'm
Go.
any other team, I'm just playing the long term on that. I'm
Yeah.
just going to wait for him to be a free agent on
Yeah.
his own. So I guess, I wouldn't trade for him.
Yeah, I'd blow it up and rebuild that one.
poor man's KD. You know what I mean? Do what you got to do.
I like a team that that's just ramming its head against not doing a rebuild. I like it, but I think it is time for Toronto to do it. Utah Jazz, your Utah Jazz over here, the 1 seed. Come on now, the 1 seed. We're going to have all these guys healthy.
Brought back Conley.
Conley's back. Rudy Gay agrees to a deal. He got a little bit of firepower.
I like their deals. Like bringing Conley back, I think is really going to help
It's
them.
kind of fun.
Rudy Gay coming off the bench will be a nice upgrade for that bench.
Yeah, a little point forward action.
I like.
They're
going
to be there. They're going to be there. They're going to be competing. They're going to be good. Their needle though, I think stays right at the same as where they were, man. I think
I got to give it a little
One
bit
seed,
of a
and it
bump.
depends on health.
they're going to be competing with the Warriors, the Lakers, depending on what the Clippers do. They're going to be right there. They're going to be top 4 in the West, if not top 4. Because you got to think, depending on what the Nets do for rest and how they play their 3, hopefully they play more games together through the season. They're going to be top 5 for best record in the league. Utah Jazz, they come out, compete, they play defense, and you got Rudy Gobert. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, I think we gotta take the sheet, put a pin in that one, and just wait and see what happens. Like if they stay healthy, that's gonna change the whole perspective on them.
they're like the blue collar team that's going to be good. They're like, they got talent. Donovan Mitchell's real. They'll be able to play the defense.
chemistry.
It's like the quietest favorite.
There you go.
Right. It's,
Yeah,
You want to see them win, even though it's not sexy at all.
yeah. If you say Utah, everyone's like, "Calm down."
Yeah.
But everyone actually wants to say Utah because
Right.
it's not a sexy pick,
Exactly.
but it's the exciting one.
Yeah.
You know.
It's like an upset that actually probably wouldn't be an upset because they're like the 1 seed. But it's having faith in it. It's seeing it for the first time. I like that. We'll put a pin in that. I'm not going to say it moves the needle because I haven't seen them at full strength.
Right.
I think that's fair to say. The Washington Wizards, ladies and gentlemen, they lost Russell Westbrook.
So they got better.
No, they gave up an MVP.
So they got worse.
I don't even. Look, Westbrook went on a tear when Bradley Beal was gone, and he got them into the playoffs. And the two of them,
So you got to say the needle's going backwards because they're not going to
it's
make the
definitely
playoffs.
going backwards. They got Spencer Dinwiddie.
Right.
We're still waiting for confirmation on that right now.
But so like he was a young point guard for the Nets who got hurt and he didn't really get to play last year, and they moved him
towards
and,
ACL.
I mean, the Wizards just got worse. I mean,
Yeah.
their needle's so
Yeah.
far down.
If you
There's some
lose-
really bad NBA teams, man. Like
That have good talent. Bradley Beal's over there.
Bradley Beal is great.
Another guy that needs to be traded, but he says he's happy.
I think he actually means it.
Like he's another like Dame where he's just, hey, I'm good. I'll stay here.
Good.
I
My
made it to
family's
the-
here. My kids go to
Yeah.
school here. I'm happy.
Yeah, I'm a professional. This is where I'm at. This is where
It's interesting,
grew
but
up. You know,
I mean,
I don't know. There's some bad NBA teams, man. God bless
this isn't
Beal.
the worst, but
God
they're
bless
down
Beal,
there.
man.
That
you
NBA
know.
teams with like a 28-point scorer on there. Like, that's
Yeah.
hard to wrap my mind around. All right, well, that was all the teams. Thank you for being patient with us and for going through all those with us. Again, 30 teams is a lot to go through, but I feel like we hit them at a pretty quick pace.
yeah.
I think you.
Final thoughts.
We had to do that. There's still some plays to be made, and to wrap
Definitely.
up the NBA season, we had to do this. We had to go through, and coming soon when NBA comes back around, we'll make our full swings. We'll see where all these
Look at our
players
predictions
go
and everything.
Yeah,
Really get an idea of how all this worked out.
This is fun. It was fun, man. It was fun. It's still going on, and there's still some solid moves out there. So we'll keep posted on what's
There's moves
going
to be
on in the
made for
basketball
sure.
world. And then we go into basketball still going on to the Olympics. The Olympics still going on.
Team USA is getting the gold. They figured it out.
I don't think so.
Unless they run into an absolute atomic nuclear Luka, Team USA's got to figure it out.
they
Which
got-
there's a path for that.
Well, no,
that could happen.
They gotta hope Luka gets past France, who beat USA. So that's gonna be a good matchup. And like I said, Thursdays, that's a big day, man, because you might see Slovenia or you might see France pull that gold up, man. So we'll see how that works. Durant, he's coming out firing. You can count him to score. These other guys got to score, man. These other guys got to score because against France and against Slovenia, Durant's not going to be the one to just get them past that hump. They're going to end up losing to team ball. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes, man.
Popovich took a seat back and he said, look, just go do your thing. Just get out there, just put up threes, put up buckets. Y'all know you can do it. Let me just step out of the way with my system. I'll save that for the NBA. This is not how they play over here. What we have to... No, it is how they play, but they can't match it right now. Let's just beat them pure talent. Josh,
The problem with Team USA is they don't have Coach K. So
it's a change.
you take greatness away, and look what happens.
He
You
definitely-
take greatness away, and you got Greg Popovich over there.
Yeah, Greg Pop's on the way out, too.
One of the greatest,
You
if
think-
not the greatest coach of all time.
He's like
Yeah.
doing like a freelance.
Come on, man.
But this is a different
Yeah.
basketball.
It is different. International play
He's
is
doing
different.
like a freelance right now. I don't know. He's kind of just
I feel like he's just there.
yeah. Where Coach K was,
I think he's
a
just there right
He's
now.
a developer with the kids, and he like made it like the college kids. Where Greg, he's like full blown, like just super serious all the time. Even though they'll be like, "Oh yeah, you know, we joked with." He's like the Bill Belichick of basketball, man. You know what I mean? I guess
Love
you
to
can
see
have
it.
your little side smirks and your little inside jokes with him, but it's like on the outside, he's just tough,
Yeah.
gritty old man. Get
Love
off
it.
my porch.
Love to see it. All right, real quick. We still got some NFL coming up, so we have to cover another division. Well, we have the NFL on Thursday. Cowboys in Green Bay.
Yeah, Green Bay. So we got the real NFL football team, the Steelers playing the Cowgirls. Hall of Fame game Thursday. So stoked to be back. So stoked that football's
Yes.
back.
Let's
Um,
go.
The
Shield.
King of Kings. I love it, man. It comes fantasy. It comes Hall of Fame game. Can't have Hall of Fame without the actual stars, the Hall of Famers that get inducted. I love it, man. Even though you only get to see maybe one or two, maybe a snap, they're back. They're dressed out. They're coming out to play. We'll see how it goes.
Devin, let me ask you a question. How is there already hundreds and hundreds of thousands of betting dollars on this game when we have
Because
no idea who's actually
we don't-
starting
we
or
don't-
Those
playing?
people are degenerates.
We don't know who's playing.
You fellas.
I almost fell into it. I almost just wanted a piece of the pie.
Like, how do
I
you
can't.
bet
Like, I must be
don't-
missing out.
I don't know who's playing, what's going on, but there's people betting on.
This is the one you don't touch. You don't touch
preseason.
preseason.
You don't touch the Hall
Especially
of Fame.
the Hall of
game.
Fame
No.
game.
It's crazy. It's crazy. I love it though. It's people are back. They're ready to spend money on just dumb draft fantasy leagues, and we are too, man.
So-
You got your finger on the button. I know.
yeah,
You're
so,
ready to
so-
send. Here's my 30.
yeah.
With the NFL, like we're talking about, we've been running this continued little series here.
Yes.
So this week with the Carson Wentz has been in the news, so we
Handicap.
figured we'd go
Yeah.
into that division.
Redheaded
The
Andrew Luck.
AFC
the
South.
AFC South, possibly now one of the worst divisions.
So you gotta hope Jags do something. Texans aren't doing anything.
And you got to think Jags are going to still be at the bottom.
there. Colts.
Titans are the
Colts-
reliable one.
Yeah, Colts. Well, and they made the moves. They made the right moves. They made some defensive moves. They brought in Julio on the offense. They made some moves, man. And
Titans
go-
got to be the favorites, especially
Yeah.
now. Like the Colts could have been an argument whenever if you were
I
hoping
still
that
had
if
the
you could
Titans.
get.
I think I still had the Titans over the Colts, to be honest with you. But
I think most people did, but I think you could. The argument was there for the Colts if
Colts
you could
have talent
get
as well.
the healthy Carson Wentz, the one that's not scared, nervous.
Yeah, they made the playoffs last year, and and he's been a franchise quarterback at one point in
Right.
his career, and
I
so
think he's
you bring
broken.
him,
I think
and
he's broken, and now he's
and that's what you're
literally
hoping
broken.
that you can get a different mindset from Carson Wentz.
But don't count out the
But-
Jags. The Jags could still do something. You get new coaching staff. You get maybe an up and coming Trevor Lawrence quarterback that might just go out there and shine. You don't know. I don't want to count them all the way out.
Tebow.
They're going to be better than Houston.
I'll count them all the way out.
They're not going to be. They're going to be better than Houston.
They're definitely
So
going
they're
to
not
be better
going to
than
be last in
Houston.
that division.
That's for
They're
sure. Well,
arguably
Houston,
going to be better than the
again,
Colts.
Houston, like we talked about already with the Rockets, the Texans will probably be the bottom of the division.
They
They'll
might
be bottom.
be-
I mean, they're going to be bottom of the
They
league.
might be the first team to lose
to go
17 games.
0-17.
So it's going to be rough.
It's a chance. It is a chance. Now Deshaun Watson, he's practicing. He's out there.
Don't mean nothing.
I don't think he's going to do anything. I
He
think
wasn't even there today. Allegedly, he was getting a massage. No one knows.
I think he's staying away for the massage
I
parlors.
think
for now.
he won't play for them, but I mean, there is still there's
But
nothing.
he can wear black and gold and come to the Steelers, and I
There
would
we
buy his
go.
jersey. And we have some offensive weapons out there. And,
Anybody but the donkeys.
Yeah,
That's
you
all I
know.
care about.
We'll see, man.
It'll be
Young and dumb. Deshaun Watson, get your head
Yeah, mistakes were made.
out
Move
your
on.
ace. And hey, come play football, man. Play football. I hope half this crap isn't real, man, and just do what you got to do, man. Let's play some ball.
Titans are winning this division.
Titans are winning this division.
That was an easy one.
Is that across the board? Shall we say with the Carson Wentz injury, maybe the Jags fight for that second spot?
No.
All right.
I feel like so it's a weird time range. Like it's such a crazy. It's 5 to 12 weeks. Like that's such a huge gap on how long this injury's out. And Quentin Nelson also with the same injury, 5 to 12 weeks. That's a huge hit to your line. That's the best guard
in the game right now.
And you lose him for 5 to 12. So it's going to be interesting to see how long they're out. If they can come back within 5 to 6.
I just want to say, before I forget, I want to shout out to the Giants for fighting each other in practice today.
Yeah.
That's when the first day of practice in pads.
Love the heat. Love the competition.
You go out there, teammates or not, we're out here sweating, going, playing. Man, I remember them days.
The frustration builds.
The frustration. It's hot. You hit me, I hit you. We're teammates, but not right now. Danny Dimes got involved. The coach is like, what are you doing? That's your quarterback. The players are like, oh, crap, we're fighting our quarterback too. Hey, go Giants. Go Giants. Fight your quarterback. Fight your running backs.
I like the quarterback getting in the mix.
Yeah.
That shows me some fire.
Bring that same energy to the field whenever it actually really matters, though.
Damn right.
But, again, I think don't sleep on the Colts yet. I'm going to say it
I'm
that
not
way.
going to sleep on them.
There's a move
Depends
to
on
be
how
made.
long the injury is. That's going to be the big factor.
Gardner Minshew, Nick Foles. What are we doing here?
I've even heard Mariota talk.
They brought in Hundley. They brought in Hundley, which I'm like,
for what?
what's going on here? So
That's a practice arm.
That was Green Bay's next great Brett. I don't know if you understand that.
Yeah, I don't.
So
it sucks, man. Like I said, Andrew Luck, Peyton Manning. That's where quarterbacks just go and break. And
let me ask you this: with the Titans, do you put Titans as contenders in the AFC?
No. There's no way they can contend.
No.
Even if they were the third best team, you're already behind the Chiefs and the Steelers.
Bro, you had me until you said the Steelers.
Yeah.
I like the confidence.
Yeah.
I think it might be a different team in that division that'd be more of a contender.
It's hard to say.
But I like them as contenders.
The Titans? No, I do too. The Titans play good ball. The Titans play good ball.
They play sound, fundamental ball, balanced.
What's good with
balanced.
them? They compete with the Chiefs with that balanced ball.
They do.
Yeah.
They almost matched up 2 years ago.
Hey, you take the ball out of Mahomes' hands.
They match up
They
well.
control the clock with Derrick Henry.
And it seems like they have the Ravens number.
So
with the Chiefs having the Ravens number, Titans having the Ravens number, the Steelers having the Ravens number, it's just...
I feel like the Titans play the style of ball that the Ravens want to play.
They just have a passing quarterback.
That's it.
it helps.
It helps to have a passing quarterback.
But again, the Ravens might still beat him because they got a dynamic quarterback.
When you say dynamic, what do you mean?
He means like running back.
I mean, better than the Steelers.
We split them 1-1, so I don't know.
I'd take that.
Yeah, I would have loved to see you, face him in the playoffs.
Almost were there.
They were facing the Browns that they let in.
Yeah, I know. You got beat by the team you let in.
Bro, easy wins. We just had 5 turnovers, and then,
Anyway,
sounds like an easy win.
Excuses.
Hearsay.
This was Shirts and Skins. Tune in next week. We'll have another recap of, maybe a shorter recap of how the NBA free agency panned out.
See where anybody else, any big signings, any things that are happening.
We'll wait on those. We will definitely get into another NFL division. Josh, what else you got for us?
Check us out on YouTube. Like, subscribe. Check it out. Spread the word. Check us out on the podcast. If you're watching us on YouTube, we're also on Spotify. We're on
iHeartRadio,
Google, iHeartRadio, Apple. We're all out there. So just check us out on either platform you want us on.
One last thing. So we got all of our brackets. We got all of our fantasy leagues set up. Next week.
Shout out to everyone in our fantasy football leagues. Multiple leagues. Let's go.
Next week, we're doing a little...
Draft times are coming.
What do we know? What do you know?
Yes.
Little sleeper, can't tell you everything because how would I win?
Next week, fantasy special guest, Joe Stumper.
Guest. Yes, sir. Oh, can't wait to do it. I'm going to do some mock drafts this weekend. I already have some sleepers. I'm super involved, super ready. can't give out nothing because
You're not excited.
I don't want to. I'm not giving my money away. You have to compete for my money. And Josh knows second place isn't open unless Josh is giving it. So, hey, at the end of the day, it's been fun. Shirts and skins.
Shirts and Skins podcast. Catch you next week. Thank y'all.